Here. I'm Agent 129 of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. I'm on the page here, so please come and join me. Okay. Okay, it just took me a few seconds. Now, my internet is very slow these days. Hi, everybody. Tara Green here, Cosmic Intelligence Agency. I'm trying to see if I can see myself on here, but I can't. So let me know that you can see me. I'm going to wait a few minutes for people to come on. Let's see. Okay. Let's wait a few minutes. It says 7:59 on my computer and 8 o'clock on my phone. So that's kind of a funny discrepancy these days. So anyway, I want to welcome you. I'm Tara Green here. I'm Agent 129, Cosmic Intelligence Agency up here in Toronto, Canada, for a very special, we're going to have a special welcoming Jupiter and Leo party here. So I'm going to wait for everybody to join me because the more the merrier at a big party. So please say hello and let me know where you're from. Okay. Okay. Hey everybody, come on and say hi. Don't be shy. Now, it is the day before July the 1st here in Canada, which is Canada's birthday tomorrow. So a lot of people might be in Canada, at least running around. Now, why am I not seeing myself on the page here? Can you please come on and tell me if you see me live? Okay. I know I did change this yesterday because I wasn't feeling so good, and now it's very, very hot here in Toronto, Canada. I know they have been having this big heat wave in Europe. Oh, hi from Calgary. Okay, there I can see you there, Lisa. Okay, hi, Lisa. Okay, just be patient, Lisa. We're going to wait for some more people to come on. For some reason, I can't see you all on my phone. I don't know why that is, but okay. Just give me a second here. So we're welcoming everybody who's got Leo somewhere in their charts. You don't have to be a Leo to benefit from Jupiter in Leo. And we're just getting started feeling royal again. Now, Jupiter in Leo happens once every 12 years, 12 to 13 years. So the last time Jupiter was in Leo, you want to think back, July 16th, 2014 to August the 11th, 2015. What was going on in your life then? So, astrology is all about moving in cycles. So you want to think back about how did that last cycle hit you? Before then, it was August the 1st, 2002 to August 26, 2003. So depending on what generation you're in. Before then, August the 18th, 1990 to September the 12th, 1991. I think I got my first computer at that time. I remember that. So I could do astrology with astrology programs. Before then, September the 5th, 1978 to September 25th, 1979, which was also a very important time in my life. So this year, June 30th, Jupiter in Leo till July the 26th, 2027. So hi from Las Vegas. Hi, Karen. Again, I'm going to wait till more people come on here, if you don't mind being patient. Of course, do kings and queens have patience? Not necessarily. The Queen of Hearts used to yell, "Off with your heads," right? So that is the downside of Jupiter in Leo, being too full of yourself, being too authoritarian, too vain, right? Too vain, too all about me, right? But the good side of Jupiter in Leo is that it's all about the heart. So Jupiter is the master teacher in spiritual astrology and the truth teller. Trust me, I'm a double Sagittarius truth teller, total transparency. So speaking clearly and totally from the heart is what we're going to be having to do, or we're going to learn big lessons about if we don't. Let's put it that way. So are you ready to speak your truth from your heart to the world? Okay, Jupiter in Leo helps us to wear our hearts on our sleeves. It's the sign of creativity, Leo. It's the sign of children. It's a good time to have children, to nurture children. Even though Jupiter in Cancer was the best time to get pregnant, I would say there's a carryover here to conceive anything, not just children, a creative project. Leo rules creativity, self-expression, willpower. They're going to amp up your willpower and to be sovereign in your own domain, okay, especially with the configurations of all the planets going on right now, and I'm going to talk about that as well. So, and Jupiter in Leo loves to party, so, you want to have fun, you want to dance, you want to live it up, okay? So, and you have to wear gold. Jupiter's metal is gold. You want to wear the gold. You want to do your hair. It's big hair time traditionally, Jupiter and Leo. So you could have red hair or put some gold highlights in or something like that. Royal purple is Jupiter's color as well, and his metal is tin. I don't know what people do with tin these days. They have these lovely old tin ceilings. Um, and Jupiter in Leo, like again, gold, royal purple, stuff like that, right? Okay. So you might want to study or read about past kings and queens and history and things like that as well with Jupiter and Leo. But you want to figure out how you're going to be shining in your own domain. Okay, that's the thing. You want to shine from your own source, from the sun. Now, Leo in the tarot can be strength. Okay, generally it's strength. Leo, you can see there's the Whore of Babylon actually riding the lion. And I actually did an art performance as the Whore of Babylon years ago. That's another story going down in my book. Okay, so the strength of your willpower, okay, over your animal instincts, right? That's what that's all about, okay? So there's going to be lots of drama though. So if you're ready to step into creating positive dramas and role playing, cosplay, all that stuff. So it's going to be a very, very good year. Now, some people say Jupiter promises more than it delivers, and that can be true. Traditionally, I was reading that traditional Islamic astrologers said that Jupiter in Leo is bad for leaders and kings. Now, also bear it in mind that 43 days from today, we're going into the next eclipse season. There's going to be a solar eclipse in Leo on August the 12th, now at 20 degrees of Leo. Now, that can be bad for certain kings, Charles, Donald Trump. We'll have to wait and see how that, all leaders can be susceptible to downfalls with solar eclipses in Leos. Okay, so let me get on with it now. All right, so this is going to be one of the most amazing months of the year. Now, I know we have all been saying that, but because it is, it just never ends. 25, 26, we're almost at the end of all the planets moving into their new signs. Okay, now Jupiter in Leo, it's a fire sign. It's what they call a fixed fire sign. It will square the other fixed signs, which is Taurus and Scorpio and Aquarius. Okay, they're all fixed in their own elements. Okay, now one of the biggest events that's going to happen this month is a rare astrological alignment that was foretold by a French astrologer named André Barbeau. Now, he is now credited with getting right down to the exact details of predicting COVID many, many years before it happened. He passed away a number of years ago at a ripe old age. But he said that this rare alignment of the outer planets, which I consider to be also personal affecting planets, which is Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and then Jupiter and Leo enters the mix. They're all going to be supporting each other at 4 degrees, right? 4 degrees is the magic number here, later in July. Okay, he said that that's called a basket shape. They're calling it Barbeau's basket. He claims that it's something that's going to uplift humanity and be a world changer, because when the outer planets meet, they always create major cultural innovations. For example, the 60s were created when Neptune and Pluto came together at 1718, Virgo with Saturn opposite, and as a yet undiscovered Chiron. So that initiated the 60s. Okay, now, so we're all going to be royal, of course. Mercury is a retrograde in Cancer. That just happened. The full moon just happened in Capricorn. Mars is in Gemini. Venus will enter Virgo. Chiron is newly in Taurus. Saturn also turns retrograde, and Neptune turns retrograde this month. The new moon is at July the 14th, and the full moon is July the 29th. So let's get on with it. So tomorrow, July the 1st, it's Canada's 159th birthday. On that day, Jupiter squares Chiron. The first aspect it makes as it enters Leo is a square, a hard aspect to Chiron, 0 degrees. 7:23 p.m. PDT, 10:23 p.m. EDT, July the 2nd at 3:23 p.m. BST. It's a new angle on where it hurts your heart and your body. Chiron and Taurus for the next 3 months is really going to help us to stay really in touch with our pain bodies, let's put it that way, because that's really where the healing needs to be. So a lot of major body work needs to be done for the next 3 months. On July the 3rd, Mars conjuncts Uranus. So on Friday at 11:08 p.m., this is a red letter day, so watch out for this one. It's on July the 4th at 2:08 a.m. EDT, 7:08 a.m. GMT. What a bang up 250th birthday for America. Now, that is a very wild, chaotic ride. It's a danger of war, earthquakes, bombs, explosions. protests, kind of very terrorist attacks, all kinds of heated debates, wild texts, and very strange info, UFO stuff. Uranus is about UFOs. So all that might happen. A real live wire day. So keep your wits about you, okay? But I wish everybody in America all the best and everywhere else in the world too. July the 4th, Mars sextiles Neptune. So that's at 5:44 p.m. PDT, 8:44 p.m. EDT, July the 5th at 1:44 a.m. British Summer Time. So Mars sextiles Neptune, Mars in Gemini brings passion to your dreams, to fight and defend your dreams, what your sacred spirituality is. You may have to defend what you believe. Neptune rules oil, so there's definitely going to be very heated fighting over that black gold. On July the 5th, Mars trines Pluto. These are power. Mars rules Scorpio, Pluto rules Scorpio. Modern astrology, again, that 4th degree, which is a Cancerian degree if you do a degree astrology. So that's at 6:07 a.m. PDT, 9:07 a.m. EDT, 2:07 p.m. GMT. There's two big power planets supporting each other in a trine, 120 degrees apart. Again, it's another warmongering energy. Big blasts and protests, angry mobs, financial markets explosion. Could be, I hope Israel doesn't drop the big one, or Russia. There's a danger of that too. So sending lots of peace out to the world. July the 6th, the Sun in Cancer squares Saturn, 3:47 a.m. PDT, 6:47 a.m. EDT, 11:47 a.m. GMT. It's a testing day. Whenever Saturn's there, it's a test. And these occur twice a year, so kind of straighten up, Okay. July the 7th, Neptune turns retrograde at 4 degrees, 25 minutes Aries at 3:55 a.m. PDT, 6:55 a.m. EDT, 11:55 a.m. GMT until December the 12th, where it's going to station at 1 degree, 37 minutes Aries. So, Neptune's only gotten 4 degrees into Aries. It's going to go back. So we're going to rescale, repeat, review our dreams. It's a great time to do dream recall. Go through old dream journals. Go back to the drawing board on a creative project that you're writing or creating in any sense. It's good for old spiritual initiations to maybe go back to some more traditional spiritual things will kind of come back, and it kind of fogs up our independent breakthroughs, right? Because that's Aries. So we're kind of waving the flag for our own independent dreams right now, but we may have to go back and look at that. It's great for past life work, which I do with people, and shamanic healing, which I also do. Hi, somebody just came on. Okay, and I believe it's Ringo Starr's birthday in there somewhere. I'm an old Beatles fan, and he's turning 85. So happy birthday to Ringo Starr. July the 9th, Venus enters Virgo. So it's very different. Venus in Virgo, 10:22 a.m. PDT, 1:22 a.m. EDT, 6:22 a.m. GMT until August the 6th. Now, Venus in Virgo is very earthy, grounded, practical, hygienic. She loves order. She loves to be organized, a little PTSD there. She loves to save money. She likes practical and natural things, and she's really into grounding, which is good. Venus in Virgo is going to help us stay grounded because you remember all of the planets are now in fire and air. These are masculine, active, let's move it, no patience planets. So the more as the faster moving planets move around when they're in Virgo, that's a good thing, because really for the next 3 months, the only planet in Earth is Chiron. Okay. And speaking of Chiron, on the 9th, Venus trines Chiron at 0 degrees Virgo Taurus. So it's about embodying your heart, creativity, your woundness. It's a great time to do expressive arts therapy with Venus trine Chiron there. And that happens on the 10th at 2:18 a.m. EDT, 7:18 a.m. GMT. On the 12th, the Sun conjuncts a retro Mercury that's called the Cazimi, 6:26 p.m. PDT, 9:26 p.m. EDT on July the 13th at 2:26 a.m. GMT at 20 degrees of Cancer. So it's a great idea, can be brought to light in the golden sun's rays. Whenever a planet sits in the heart of the sun, the Cazimi, it's a really big blessing. So again, I'm giving you these times so you can work with the planets, work with the energy. I'm a really big believer in doing ritual at the time that these energies are operating. And Cazimis only last a short time usually. Okay, now, July the 13th, Venus in Virgo squares Uranus in Gemini, 7:27 a.m. PDT, 10:27 a.m. EDT, 3:27 p.m. GMT. Money problems. There could be AI used for tax issues, strange connections, Unusual ways of making money can be quite profitable, and thinking outside the box can help you make some money. And it can also be unusual texting, connecting, people you never thought you would speak to, or, that kind of energy, right? Just unpredictable. It's very chaotic, right? So you hear something, they hear another. Remember, Mercury is still retrograde. So Mercury is ruling Uranus in Gemini and any other planets in Gemini while it's retrograde, even if it's in Cancer. Venus quincunx Neptune, 9:45 a.m. PDT, 12:45 p.m. EDT, 5:45 p.m. BST. Don't look at the fine print too much. You'll miss a big dream. That's also on the 13th. And Venus quincunxes Pluto at 1:52 p.m. PDT, 4:52 p.m. EDT, 9:52 p.m. GMT. It is a love of power. It's your secret love language, but you can't see. Pluto is invisible, so you can't see. Maybe somebody's trying to sabotage you or throw negative energy at you, or there's some kind of Venus in Virgo is like a problem solver. So this is like getting to the heart of the mystery. It could be a big breakthrough in something that you've been trying to figure out about. Did somebody do this to you? It's kind of like being a fly on the wall. You could use it that way too. On July the 14th, there's a new moon at 21 Cancer, 59 minutes, 2:45 a.m. PST, 5:44 a.m. EDT, 10:44 a.m. BST. This is the moon's natural placement. It's a good time to move or to just thoroughly cleanse your house. Definitely be by the water, take some beautiful ritual bath. All new moons are very powerful new intentions in the emotional body for nurturing your inner child, your children. It's actually good to start a family, quite fertility, for any kind of conception, literal, artistic, whatever. Also, new beginnings with family and children. Now, a lot of people had speaking of Jupiter in Cancer last year, a lot of people had big breakups with their families. And now I believe that Jupiter in Leo, our hearts are going to come back into play here. And we're going to reconsider all of that. There may be more dramas, new dramas. There may be a lot of forgiveness also as well. Now, this is the buildup of this Barbeau basket aspect that happens over the next few days. So it's really going to last over a wide area. On July the 15th, Uranus sextiles Neptune again at that 4th degree. So if you have any planets at 4 degrees, you're going to feel these energies for you more permanently. Sextiles are when planets are supporting each other. They're only 60 degrees apart. That's called a sextile. 1:32 p.m. PDT, 4:32 p.m. EDT, 9:32 p.m. GMT. So it's like radical creative dream waves. Like you want to get on that frequency. It's literally like tuning into some very high frequencies. Neptune is like the higher octave of Venus. It rules like our spiritual source. So again, you could be getting some very unusual messages. Maybe you don't understand them right away, but sit with them and you want to really dream with them. Okay, Uranus with Neptune. So you could have very unusual dreams as well. Okay, or your telepathic or psychic energies could be really off the wall. Also, watch out for the solar flares that are coming. These are really, really big and they're really shifting our consciousness. That's what's creating all those devastating earthquakes like in Venezuela, and there's more to come. Okay, now, on the 15th of, on the 17th of July, Uranus trines Pluto. Now, a trine is a pyramid. Trine is when the planets are 120 degrees apart and they're in the same signs, the same element, not the same sign, same element. So they're supporting each other, like works with like. So Uranus, the radical, protest, innovative, AI, crypto, trine Pluto, the god of wealth, might be the much longed for, crypto breakout again, 9:45 p.m. PDT. It's on July the 18th at 12:45 a.m. EDT, 5:45 a.m. BST. Okay, again, could be some massive innovations happen with science. Uranus rules science. It could be also digital ID and stuff like that. So Uranus rules Aquarius, where Pluto is shape-shifting everything right now. AI, wealth, digital ID. Again, plutocrats using unusual or secret means to gain power and control. So we have to be mindful of that. Okay. Jupiter in Leo seals the positive polarity bucket with Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Okay, thank you. Yes. So July the 19th, Mars in Gemini sextiles Saturn. So here's another two planets working very positively together. That's at 14 degrees at 1:11 a.m. PDT, 2:11 p.m. EDT, 6:11 p.m. BST. It's a war of words, debates, long-term initiatives. Saturn's always long-term anything, and there's a lot of Gen Z kids, Gen Z kids that are having their first Saturn return now, so they have to pay attention to these aspects as well when Saturn moves retrograde. July the 20th, Jupiter trines Neptune. That's a really beautiful, uplifting, very spiritual, very charitable aspect at 4 degrees fire. It's a beautiful aspect that gives you heart strength. It gives you the power to empower your dreams, your independence, your creativity, really enlarges your heart. Now, it is super important that you do what's in your heart, or I'm kind of literally warning uh, people that they can have heart attacks, okay? Like literally you can get heart tremors, things like that. It's very, very literal. The astrology is always very literal, okay? That is a wealth aspect again. On the 20th, again, Jupiter opposes Pluto. This is a power struggle. Oppositions are tense. Jupiter in Leo is the elites, the royals, the old king, Charles Pluto. It could be rebellions against the elites, including Canada, the US, and everywhere in the world. But it's basically a wealth aspect. Jupiter conjunct Pluto is called the billionaires transit. So when Jupiter crosses your Pluto, all the baby boomers, this is a billionaires aspect that doesn't happen very often. So you want to take advantage when it hits you. Okay. On the 21st, Jupiter sextiles Uranus. Again, part of this Barbo aspect, 4:11 a.m. PDT, 7:11 a.m. EDT, 12:11 p.m. BST. Again, this energy is amping up, very, very supportive. So tune into it and feel it. Does this feel like, wow, there's this whole new net, a cosmic net, you would say, a new matrix that's being formed here. On July 22nd, the sun enters Leo to join the Golden Club here, where it shines the brightest. 12:13 p.m. PDT, 3:13 p.m. EDT, 8:13 p.m. GMT, and everything is golden with the sun in Leo. Okay, so go for the gold. July 22nd, Venus quincunxes are in conjunct Saturn, again at 14 degrees, 9:18 p.m. PDT on the 23rd, 12:18 a.m. EDT, 5:18 a.m. BST. Quincunxes are, again, blind spots, could be father issues, responsibilities that you don't want to deal with, money issues, and love problems, actually. If you have planets at 14 degrees of the cardinal signs, so that is Aries, Libra, Capricorn, sorry, Cancer. July 23rd, Sun squares Chiron and Taurus. Again, 8:36 a.m. PDT, 11:36 a.m. EDT, 4:36 p.m. GMT. Sun squaring Chiron, again, throwing a light on where your body needs to heal itself. Again, could be housing issues, assets. Taurus rules assets. Money problems. Again, possessions need to be looked at. Maybe you need to do an inventory. On July 23rd, Mercury finally turns direct at 3:59 p.m. PDT, 6:59 p.m. EDT, 11:59 p.m. BST at 16 degrees, 22 degrees of Cancer. So now you can move ahead slowly. And, Mercury retrogrades are not bad. They're not disastrous. They're just rest times for our brains, which we really, really need. It's always a good time to take a social media break when Mercury is retrograde. But it will take until August the 7th until Mercury goes ahead from where it stopped when it started the retrograde. On the 24th, Mercury in Cancer sextiles Venus in Virgo at 16 degrees plus, 9:13 a.m. PDT, 12:13 p.m. EDT, 5:13 p.m. BST. It's a good time to harvest your emotional wealth, your emotional riches, to dispense it out. Again, charity work, sending money to kids that have been hurt in these earthquakes, whatever. Do a budget. It's also a good thing. Now, on July 24th, Neptune sextiles Pluto, 10:49 p.m. PDT. On the 25th, the same aspect, Neptune sextiles Pluto, 1:49 a.m. EDT, 6:49 a.m. BST. So again, this is this big Barbo, these outer planets helping, supporting big dreams. So Pluto in Aquarius is going to transform society. Neptune is higher consciousness, as is Pluto at its highest level. So you want to bring that dream down. You want to connect to the higher spiritual beings, right? To bring that in. So Neptune and Pluto sometimes move in each other's orbits, actually, but this is the planet of spirituality, oil, Hollywood, which could be going down or up. Pluto's death and rebirth story, secrets are exposed, addictions, denial, and corruption are brought to the surface at this time. July 26, Saturn turns retrograde at 14 degrees, 45 minutes of Aries at 12:56 p.m. PDT, 3:56 p.m. EDT, 8:56 p.m. GMT. Saturn's going to turn back time. You can play that song by share until December the 9th. It seems like a long time, right? But it does this every year, and it will station at 7 degrees 56 minutes. So you want to look at in your chart between 7 and 14 degrees of Aries, what issues, what area it's happening. Could be, if it's in your 6th house, it could be health issues that you got to go back and look at, etc., etc. July 26th, the Sun opposes Pluto. It's a big power struggle, 11:55 p.m. PDT. On the 27th, it happens at 2:55 a.m. EDT, 7:55 a.m. BST. So that one, you got to watch out for big power struggles in the world as well. We're almost finished here. On July the 27th, the Sun trines Neptune. Again, more of this Barbeau energy, this beautiful basket coming to light. And then on the same day, the Sun sextiles Uranus. So this is a big breakout for any big scientific discoveries. Again, crypto, 2:36 p.m. PDT, 5:36 p.m. EDT, 10:36 p.m. GMT. It could be a brilliant, again, scientific breakthrough on many levels, digital IDs and protests. But for you, it can be a big breakthrough, break free of anything that's been holding you back, programming, whatever. On July 29th, Venus squares Mars, 12:10 a.m. PDT, 3:10 a.m. EDT, 8:10 a.m. GMT. This is like a lover's tango. It's 21 degrees Virgo, Gemini. Can be very sexy, actually. Venus, Mars, there's that tension. And our inner lovers as well. On July 29th, the Sun opposes Jupiter at 5:18 a.m. PDT, 8:18 a.m. EDT, 1:18 p.m. GMT. Again, Jupiter, the Sun. The Sun is ruling Jupiter right now, so it's kind of a nice balance. I would do something very creative, very generous with yourself, really giving from your heart as well. Throw a big party for your family or your friends. And on July the 29th, there's a full moon at 6 degrees Aquarius, 30 minutes at 7:36 a.m. PDT, 10:36 a.m. EDT, 3:36 p.m. BST. It's very electrifying because the moon opposes Jupiter and the Sun. Okay, so now, if you've stuck with me this far, so now we're going to get to the tarot reading. So if you've watched this before, I'm going to smudge you all. I'm using my Palo Santo here, Palo Santo. I'm going to take off my glasses now. Okay, so smudging everybody, we're going to step into a sacred space here, and we're going to be doing, all those tarot readings. I'm going to smudge my special crystal that I use here as well. Okay, so I'm going to use my regular Thoth tarot deck here, which I love. Okay, all right. And I'd love to go to New York to see that tarot exhibit at the Morgan Museum. That would be very cool. And then I use this extra deck here. This seems very Leo-like, of course, because the Sphinx was built in the age of Leo, I believe. This is the Secret Dakini Oracle. All right, so let's start with Aries. Now, everybody knows their sun sign, of course. If you know your moon sign, your rising sign, you want to use Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, whatever planet you want to use to go with this, be my guest. Live it up. Okay, so for Aries, what is Jupiter and Leo going to bring to you? You get the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, now this is Jupiter itself. Okay, so Aries, this is a big go for it. Take some beautiful risks. The universe has your back. Okay, gamble, but don't gamble too much because Jupiter, gives you this kind of false, everything is going to be great. That's the downside of Jupiter. Okay, but expect to get beautiful things, wonderful things, big expansion, faster movement. This is Jupiter. The Wheel of Fortune is spinning faster, right? So take a chance, right? You've got all these new planets, Saturn, Aries, Neptune, Aries, even though they're going to go retrograde, you have to keep the faith. Okay, so this is a very good, very positive thing. Yes, buy some lottery tickets, take some risk, take a gamble, do something. Aries is usually not short of courage, but this gives you extra courage. Just again, be careful. The caveat is be careful. All right. Okay, so let's give you an extra card. Now, this is a 64 deck of oracle cards, and I don't usually use oracle cards, but this one is definitely calling me. So Aries, let's see what Aries gets here. Okay. Okay, you get this card called Cutting Through. So cutting through kind of implies, cutting some karmic cords, again, going beyond what was limiting you, cutting through obstacles, through blocks. This is basically based on a Buddhist deck. So cutting through would be cutting through your own setbacks, your own mental, your own karmic, your own emotional wounds. So this would be a good time to heal. So cut through, cut some bridges, make way for new things, new royalty, new expansion in your life, Aries. Okay, so let's get to Taurus. Okay, now Chiron's just in Taurus. Okay, so you're just beginning to feel Chiron and Taurus for the next 7 or 8 years, actually. So Taurus. Okay, you get the card of the moon here. Now, this is Pisces energy, and Jupiter also rules Pisces traditionally. I use both modern and ancient rulerships because it's just much more balanced. So for Taurus, this might feel like a challenge because you're going through a rebirth right now. Again, it is a test of your faith. I like to liken this card to the baby being born naturally, coming down the birth canal, still connected to the mother. You still have your umbilical cord, no matter what's going on, no matter what's scary out there in front of you, Taurus. You're still connected to the matrix, okay, which is traditionally the sun, actually. In a sense, or the stars, and so know that you're totally held and you're safe. And as you go through this breakthrough, this rebirth, you're going to come out into the light, which is the sun. That's Leo. That's the gold. Jupiter and Leo. So have faith and, trust the rebirth, trust the process, go with the flow, Taurus. I know you tend to be a little bit rigid, but this is a good thing to go with the flow and to work with your dreams. Okay. Neptune's in Aries. You want to work with your dreams because this is Pisces energy. It's also can be making breakthroughs with addictions, with any limitations that have been holding you back. Could be, Taurus is like money. They like beautiful things. So it can be a big breakthrough for you for this whole year ahead. Let's put it that way. Taurus is a fixed sign. So with Jupiter and Leo, it is squaring. So there's a pressure there for you to move ahead. Okay. All right. So let's give Taurus an extra card here. Okay. All right, let's give Taurus an extra card here. You get this one. It's called Just Passing Through. So just winging it. So it's kind of very different than the other one you got here, which was that sense of faith, the moon, the dark side of the moon, facing your fears, your nightmares. But in a way, if you keep it very light, you're just winging it. You don't take it too seriously, which is also a big Buddhist teaching. It's all pretty light, so don't take it too seriously. Just keep going. Just keep flying high. Let's put it that way. Okay. So Gemini, let's see what Gemini's got here. So Gemini, if we used Gemini as your first house, then Leo would be in your third house of communications, which is naturally a Gemini house. Now you get a breakthrough here. So this year ahead, Gemini, Jupiter and Leo is going to give you big breakthroughs. They could be big, shocking ones. Again, this is like Uranian energy here. In a way, even though Mars is on this card, it's like big breakthrough, hit by lightning, not literally. That brilliant idea. So this could be a shocking revelation that the old idea of you, the old essence, the old 9 to 5, whatever it is you're doing that you don't like. Jupiter and Leo gives you courage, fortitude, strength, passion, desire to break through. So this is a good thing, a big breakthrough for you, Gemini. Okay. Now let's give you also an extra card here. All right, let's give you an extra card. You get a card called Self-Created. So the number 11. So this is like a master number here. It's beautiful lotus. So again, through having this big breakthrough, like your pineal gland opening up. Whoops, sorry, my phone is going off there. Sorry. Okay, that's a sign from the universe. Sorry, I'm gonna have to take my phone off there. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, the lotus. So maybe it's time. The breakthrough would be to do some meditation. Really focus on opening your crown chakra, doing some yoga. Maybe going away on a retreat. That would be a good thing this year. Jupiter loves to travel. So maybe you want to treat yourself to some very fancy but healthy yoga retreat, or go to some very spiritual location that's really calling you. Third house is about short journeys, right? So again, it's a flowering, let's put it that way. All right, let's get to Cancer. Okay, so Cancer, let's see what Leo's going to bring in. Now, if we use Cancer as the first sign, as your rising sign, then Leo is in your second house of wealth, and Jupiter in Leo is wealth for sure. It's gold. All right, you get the wishing card. Okay, so Cancer, I always like it when this card shows up because I get to be your fairy godmother and to give you 9 wishes. So Cancer, you've been through it all with Jupiter in Cancer. You could write a number of books about all that. But you get 9 wishes here. This is Jupiter, actually. It is Jupiter in Pisces. So whereas Jupiter also rules Pisces, You get overflowing, your cups are overflowing. This is goodness and abundance and balance, and believe it and claim it and all of that stuff, Cancer. Okay. So the number 9, completing wishes, dreams, desires, expect all of that to get done. Again, write it down, speak it out loud, pour it over the water. It's not about manifesting Lamborghinis. It's about giving to others. So sending blessings to all the children in the world, that they be safe and fed and clothed and housed and loved, and all the inner children heal from all the trauma that we've all been carrying for generations and generations. That would be the wonderful use of this card. Okay, so Cancer, that was pretty good, but let's give you an extra card too. Okay, so wherever you have Cancer in your card, remember you get in your, wherever you have Cancer in your chart, you get 9 wishes there. Okay, and you get Mount Meru, the center of the universe. So in Tibetan Buddhism, this is a famous mountain, which is like a spiritual peak. So again, not only do you get Jupiter in Pisces, which is definitely a spiritual peak and big blessings, you also get Mount Meru. So this is very mystical, very high-minded. You get to go to this place. You get to travel there. Okay, so you can go there in your mind. That's, thinking is the best way to travel. So do that. That's really lovely. I love that. Okay, so Leos, now you are the stars of the show. You get to bask in your own royal juices. You get to throw gold to people. You get to benefit others. You're big-hearted. You're very generous. Okay, so you get the Hangman. Okay, well, this is really interesting. Okay, so the Hangman, one of the 3 major, what they call maternal or initiatory letters. Now, these 3, there are 3 of these in the deck. It's 0, which is 22, the Fool. This one, 12, the Hangman, and 20, which is usually called Judgment Day or the Aeon in this deck. And so they can be related to these transpersonal planets. Now, different people have different plans. Mary Greer, sort of the godmother of tarot, has been writing about it on Facebook, and she's going to write a book about astrology and tarot. So she's been talking about different arrangements. So this one is definitely Neptune. Okay, it's water. It's emotional baptism. So this is Leo. So this is about really surrendering. Surrendering. Maybe it's about not my will, thy will. This is very much this classic, giving it up to God. Gold is always the God, so give it up, let it go, surrender. Tell me, my highest self, tell me what I'm supposed to be doing here, not my ego, which can get inflated, your will. Okay, so this is a really, really beautiful card as well. The Hangman, turning things upside down, letting things go. It's very earthy. It's your consciousness. Instead of being up with the sun, actually it's a balance, counterbalance, to point down to the feminine, to the earth, okay, to the grounded. This is actually one of the few cards that is related to Nordic symbolism. This is Thor's father, Odin, who voluntarily tied himself to the world tree to channel the runic alphabet, which the pagans, Vikings, are really embracing their pagan origins, and using that as their actual alphabet again. So surrender, let it go. There's a song about that too. Okay, so let's see. Leos, let's give you an extra card here. Let's see what you get. You get the hot seat. Now, the interesting thing about this one, I love the synchronicity. What's the number on there? And what's the big degree? 4. Okay, now this is the Emperor, traditionally in most tarot decks. So there is a partial connection to the tarot in this deck, even though it's an oracle deck. So you're in the hot seat here. So what are you going to do with all that power and all that glory? And, and again, it's like Aries. So you are the king, but you got to remember that the other side of this card is the Fool. So if you don't watch how you own your power, you can get a hot seat, burned, all that stuff. Okay, now, so burn up the things that are not serving your heart, I would say, but are serving that kind of, how do we put it? You need to be independent, but you also need to serve. A wise ruler serves others. Okay. So now we're on to Virgo. So let's see what Virgos get here. Oops. All right, Virgo. You get this number 20 card. So I was just talking about these major arcana here. So the number 20, now this is, not the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the most popular one in the world. This is the Thoth Tarot. This is my go-to deck. Number 20, traditionally called Judgment Day. So Virgo, you may have to face your own judgments. Now, Virgos can be very judgmental, and as the South Node leaves Virgo now, also another important thing that's going to shift in the next while. Look back at how you've limited yourself in the past and review all that, especially with Mercury retrograde. Mercury rules Virgo as well as Gemini, and get ready to really go past your old judgments, because that's the only thing that's really holding you back. The way you judge yourself, the way you have limiting belief systems. Virgo is kind of infamous for poverty consciousness and anxiety, and you can literally break through. This is the child as well. Leo rules the child. Your inner child needs to play more. You have to get in touch with your inner child. You have to listen to them. What do children love to do? They love to play. They love to have dramas. They love to make up stories. They're in the moment. They connect with the world, the fairy world. They connect with all of the world. So do that, Virgo. Okay. And again, it's a breakthrough into a new life. Okay. All right. So Virgos, let's give you an extra card too. Okay. Virgos, let's see what you got here. You get serpent power. Now that's a Kundalini breakthrough if I ever saw one. So again, goes very well with this Judgment Day breakthrough. The dead rise again. That's traditionally what Judgment Day is all about. So again, serpent power. So harnessing your Kundalini energy, which is through practice, yogic practice. Usually you do have a guru who works with you so they can guide you, because it's very, very powerful and quite dangerous energy to handle it. So it could be maybe learning some real sexual, sacred, tantric energy, learning how to handle that, learning to channel it. So maybe this is something you need to study, actually, and bringing your own serpent power. Serpents always represent change, okay? Serpent with its snake, serpent with its tail in its mouth is always that symbol. So major change going on here, Virgo. Okay, so Libra. So Libra, let's see what you got here. Okay, so Libra, let's see. You get the universe. Okay, so this is number 21 here. This is Saturn energy, Libra. Now, Aries, Saturn is in Aries opposite Libra. So if you have any planets at 14, Aries and backwards, where Saturn is going to go back, you want to pay attention to that. Okay, I am personally having Saturn opposite my natal Saturn. So a breakthrough, end of a cycle, freedom. So taking responsibility, Libra, for creating everything in your life, including all those messy relationships. You get to have a breakthrough here. So this is a good thing. Okay, taking responsibility, taking things seriously. Can be major signing on to new relationships. If you're going to get married, is Taylor Swift going to get married in the next few days? We'll see. Is Saturn. You sign on the dotted line, you make a major commitment. Okay, so Libra, major commitments coming. All right, so let's see what else we got here for Libra. Okay, so Libra, you get the cosmic, number 26, the cosmic carrot. All right, so is the universe holding out the cosmic carrot, or what is your cosmic carrot? I think you need to know what your goals are. Let's put it that way, Libra. Sense of the cosmos is also very starry, the sun, kind of this golden energy. And what is worth chasing? What is this cosmic carrot worth chasing? Okay. All right. So now let's get to Scorpio. All right. So Scorpios, you got to think that Chiron is going to be in Taurus the next 7 or 8 years, opposite your sign. Let's see what you get, Scorpio. Okay. Now you get the number 14 here, which is temperance. Now this is Sagittarius energy, you can see. It's called alchemy or art on this card. So again, this is about Jupiter. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So for Sagittarians and for all the fire signs, for Aries, for Leo, of course, and for Sag, we all get benefits from Jupiter in Leo this year because of the fire element. Now, this is called the sacred marriage card. So again, for Sagittarians, this can be a coming together, a sacred union within, without. You have to have that beloved energy within you first, Sagittarius, to have it appear without yourself, like outside of you. So doing a lot of inner work, this can be a really good way to use Jupiter and Leo. Do you need to strengthen your willpower, your heart power? Was your heart broken? Do you need to knit it back together? Again, it's very creative, very self-expressive. So Sagittarius, any art, any creative projects, Jupiter and Leo, you want to do that. Okay. So it's about temperance traditionally. making sure the masculine and feminine are balanced. Could be traveling, teaching, everything that Sagittarians love to do. Finally publishing that book that you've been procrastinating on forever. And pets, pets, things like that, nature, getting out into nature, and inspiring others, being the big cheerleader of the zodiac. So much more happy for Sagittarius. And let's give you an extra card here. Okay, so it is lucky for you guys. Whoops, one just passed out here. Okay, this is the Phoenix, number 19. No, number 19 traditionally is the card of the sun in the tarot. So again, rising like a phoenix. If you've been having a hard time, this is the symbol of a rebirth, of kind of burning yourself up, coming out into the new incarnation of yourself. So this is the time when you remake yourself, you redo yourself, you have a new, dress up, change your style, change your hairstyle, get a new wardrobe, whatever it is that you want to do that symbolizes that phoenix energy. So it could be like burning down the old and really making a clean sweep with the new. Okay, so Capricorns. Now, let's see what Capricorns get here. You get the sun. Okay, now this is the sun. Here comes the sun. Sun, sun, sun. There's all those Beatles songs sing about the sun. So Capricorn, yes, you are going to shine. You are going to go for the gold. This is the time to reap the harvest. It's peak for you. Get in touch with your heart. Do what's in your heart. Spread the gold. Spread the light. Be positive. Be optimistic. Let your own charisma shine. Now, Leo and Capricorn are in conjunct each other, so this might be a bit of a challenge to do it, but it can also bring old accomplishments back to light for you, especially with Saturn turning retrograde. So things that you did a long time ago, maybe you forgot about, somehow they come back and they propel you out into the spotlight. So expect to get noticed, for the next year. Okay, so Capricorns, let's give you an extra card here. Okay, you get a card called High Tension. It looks like someone's head's got taken off, a bodybuilder here, but they're getting hit by lightning. Now, hit by lightning is a good thing, actually, because it wakes you up. So there can be, the high tension can be, again, this zap, this cosmic zap that wakes you up. So I think this is a very good, very positive thing, a breakthrough, and enlightening. Lightning is all sun, light, gold, all of that, right? Energy, a zap, big cosmic zap wakes you up. Okay, jolts you out. Okay, so Aquarius, let's see what Aquarius has got. Now, of course, Jupiter in Leo is opposite you, and oppositions can be tense. Okay, you get the card of the star here. Now, the star is Aquarius energy. You can see it's on this card here. So again, you are the star. You are bringing down higher consciousness. This is why I like this image so much, because I love this symbol, this embodiment. So if you are an Aquarius, if you have an Aquarius anywhere in your chart, you would go out and look at the stars, and you would draw that cosmic energy down from your right hand through your heart chakra, again with Leo rules, and dispense it down on the earth. So I would strongly recommend, Aquarius, that you do this ritual, that you do this exercise, that you really feel that as above, so below conduit that is the highest aspect of Aquarius, and use Jupiter's gold to really amplify that energy for you. Really bring in this new consciousness that we need to be fully human. Okay, you're the star of the show. All right, so Aquarius, let's give you an extra card here. Okay, you get this eternal life. Okay, so this is the one I was showing before. 33, master number, the star in eternal life. Well, I would say you need to maybe go to Egypt, Aquarius, or tune into Egyptian energy, or put up pictures of the Sphinx and the Ankh. These are very sacred symbols, Isis, the goddess, and all of the beautiful Egyptian goddesses, and really tune into that energy. There could be also some big archaeological breakthroughs, which have been happening anyway, but that can be stronger. Know that whatever happens, it doesn't matter, because you're an eternal soul. You are a star. I mean, yes, eventually stars can die out, but they're going to be reborn in another form, but basically nothing ever dies. So it's really about your legacy. Eternal life, quote unquote, is about what do you want to leave? So act as if this is your last act and do it. Okay, so Pisces. Let's see what Pisces have here. Okay, and you get the card of Leo here. Okay, you get the Strength card. So in this deck, it can be 11 or 8, depending on which deck you use. Again, this is the Leo card. So Pisces, really don't, you need to amp up your courage. For all Pisces anyway, Neptune and Aries is a whole new realm for them all, for the next 15 years. Learn to rule with your heart. Learn to be a leader. You're already spiritually connected. Really step into your strengths, into your power, into your heart. Be in command, be royal. Don't be ashamed of it. You deserve it. You can be a leader for everybody here. So really, this can be new passion. In this deck, it's called lust, your lust for life. It can be a new, very hot love affair coming into your life as well. Okay. So sing, so dance, so be joyous, like live it up. Go to places that are sunny, travel if you want to. If you want to be a snowbird this winter, do that too. All right. So Pisces, let's give you a card as well. Okay. You get the deep end. This is very appropriate for Pisces, isn't it? So even if you're out being the Leo queen or king of the day, you can always plunge back into the deep end. And you should stay connected to the deep end because that's really what your element is, okay? And don't be afraid to go deeper. The deeper you go, the higher you fly. The higher you fly, the deeper you go. I think that's also a Beatles song. So dive deep, stay connected to your dreams, stay connected to source, bring your light out into the world. Okay. All right. I feel like I forgot somebody. I don't think I did, though. Pretty sure I got everybody. So I will be doing some specials in honor of Jupiter and Leo. If you want to get in touch with me, I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to really amp up the living in your heart. So you can tap on your heart chakra like EFT to keep your heart chakra open because we're not used to living from our hearts. And, slowly that courage will come up. Also pay attention to your third chakra. That's your inner sun, just below the navel, your hara in shamanic tradition. That's your sacred navel that connects you to your arende, which is your sacred spiritual energy, connecting you always to source, right? So I want to wish you all the best blessings of this year, but I'll see you next month. Again, join Cosmic Intelligence Agency. There's wonderful astrologers and workshops going on. And yeah, again, you want to get in touch with me, I'm at taratarot.com. So wishing all the best blessings. Enjoy, party, happy Canada Day, and happy July. And I'll see you soon. Okay, sending you many blessings of the day. Bye.